Hey, and welcome back to a very special episode of Pints with Pals. I had to look again. I forget what the name of this podcast is. I'm Mike, your northernmost hostess. Nope, still not hostess. Host. And with me, I have...
Jeremy, the guy from the south. Kind of. Selfish.
Southernmost hostess.
Host. Yeah, southern, yeah. Of the two, three. Third one is soon, hopefully, very soon.
So we're not really doing the normal podcast format where we don't have a specific beer. We're just going to go with Irish beers. Ironically, we both kind of have the same beer, which is Guinness. Surprise. I've never done it before, but I tried to do a black and tan. I bought Bass and Guinness, and it turned into a brown. So turns out when you add black and tan together, you get brown. That's what it is. I don't know.
That's what happens.
Yep. So
Guinness, huh?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this tastes. It's like a watered down Guinness. So I'm gonna finish this one, and then I'm gonna just drink the rest of the Guinness to see what it tastes like again. Because I haven't had Guinness by itself. I haven't had Guinness by itself in probably 15 years. I've had it in the one with the shot of Jameson and Bailey's.
The Irish hand
car
grenade?
bomb. No, an Irish car bomb. I've had it in a car bomb more than I've ever had it.
Hand grenade. Because you take because there's two shot glasses, right? You pull.
No, they just mix them together. Unless it's just, it might. I don't think it's Bailey's and Jameson, but I don't know.
If it's just Bailey's, then it's an Irish bomb.
Maybe that's what it is. I thought they put.
Okay.
I thought they put Jameson in it also.
Oh, because usually it would be two shot glasses sitting here, right? So you'd have the Bailey's cream here, and you'd have the Jameson here. You shoot the Jameson as that drops in. You gotta hurry and chug it.
Mm-hmm. That I never had done.
Well, sir, we'll have to change that one day. Just not with me. I'm too old to be doing that kind of crazy stuff. It was really good though. It tastes so yummy. So St. Patrick's Day. Oh man, it's one of my favorite holidays. Like I love the music. I love the food.
There are a lot of feuds I think that happen because of this holiday. Last year it was like I'm up in Michigan, but last year it was like 72 or 73 on St. Patrick's Day, and it was insanely busy. Like everybody was like, well, I guess I'm taking a half day off work and going up to because we have an Irish pub in our downtown. And we're just like, oh boy, we were there. We took all the time off, or took time off work, and we had to call for a ride home at like 9 o'clock because we were too drunk
in the morning.
No, at 9 o'clock at night. But then it started to get too kiddie, like the children of I say children, but they're like 28 and under. They all started showing up, so that was
showing your age again, man. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. So Irish beers, I think that's always an interesting topic to talk about. There's a few that come to my mind. There's usually the Irish Stout, and of course, what's the other one? The red.
I can't remember.
That's all. The Irish Reds. We just did a podcast on that one. So you can go check out that one. It's going to be before this one, so I would definitely listen to that one to learn more about it. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So I had a Sullivan, and he had a Schmidtwicks or Smite.
Yeah. Yep. a couple of consonants like smashed up against each other. Smithwicks.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Smith. Now I'd have to look at the bottle again, but I don't have it.
I'm staring at it right now. I think it's a Smithwicks.
Okay.
I wonder what he's wicking though.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah. So I enjoy Guinness. I like the extra stout. I like this one is the nitro one.
The draft.
I like that one as well. Yeah, the draft. Yeah, it's the nitro or nitrogenated or whatever the word is. I like it because it's a soft beer. Like people always say, "Oh, it's such a heavy beer." Blah blah. Like no, it's not. It's not a stout. It's not a porter.
I think they just don't like the bitterness. Like I
very
feel
well
like
could be.
I feel like it's very coffee forward, and a lot of people that drink beer. Well, I don't want to generalize, but I feel like there's a lot of like Bud Light drinkers, which was myself in the past, who saw a Guinness for what it was. Like they looked at a bottle of beer and saw that it was like completely dark and opaque, and they just think it's going to be heavy. Like you feel like it's gonna drink like like a sweatshirt or something. It's like it's weird to like see that kind of stuff. So it really isn't. Like, and then
it drinks like a lager, right?
Yeah, and then it's the same ABV as a lager too. It's actually I think lower ABV than Bud Light.
I think it's like 4.
I think it's 4.2 now, but I can't
something
remember.
Like that. Yeah, I don't see it on the bottle quickly, anyways.
No, me neither.
I'm skimming it as fast as possible. It's like on here somewhere. I might just blind. I think I am blind.
My old eyes can't see that shit anymore.
I think you're right. It's definitely lighter than like a Bud Light, a Coors Light, all the other light beers. I'm not sure what a Michelob is. Maybe Michelob could be ultra, maybe a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I think that those ones are because they try and take the calories out of them.
Yeah.
The flavor, they take all the flavor out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I've had other dry stouts, not necessarily Irish dry stouts, that I really, really enjoy as well too. Maybe they're classified as Irish dry. I think the reason why I like them though, because they seem to be lighter on the mouth, even though they are considered a stout overall. But I mean, they're easy drinking. I don't think they taste all that great when they start to warm up like some other stouts do. Like a couple episodes we should go check out that one, episode number 1 about stouts. Where some stouts actually taste a little bit better once they get a little bit warmer, around the 60-ish degrees, 65 maybe. They taste like some of the sweetness may come out, or maybe more of the coffee notes are more forward, or caramel notes could be there. Toffee is another one that I've had. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I love me a good nice ice cold Guinness.
And do you think that there's a big difference between the flavor in the bottle and what it comes out on a draft? Because the draft pour, like if you see the tap handles, instead of like a normal tap handle where they would have like a little tiny thing where it like pulls like this, there's like a big like lever, and it comes out of like a point, because it's just a totally different tap mechanism. Do you?
Oh, I think it's a lot better on tap than it is in bottle. I really do. I think it's missing you don't get the cool like. I'm gonna call it cascading, but I don't think it's what it is. But it just reminds me of like a cascading like effect.
Aren't you supposed to like pour it in and just tip your bottle completely upside down? They don't have. Do they have the aerators in them anymore? I don't think they do. The
cans they do.
Do they?
But if you buy a canned one, you actually hear it. It's really loud. Actually, my son bought me a stout tap for my Keyser. Of course, I just don't have a tank for it yet.
What's a Keyser?
So a Keyser, you take like a deep freezer and you turn it into a temperature controlled vessel for your kegs. So like I homebrew. I think I've talked about it a couple times in these other episodes. So I actually built something that holds all my beer. So I can just walk over there. I can pull a tap and bam, I get myself a pint of whatever I have on there. Currently, it's still my Schwartz beer.
So that kegerator or Keyser is just basically a kegerator made out of a freezer instead of a refrigerator.
Out of freezer, yeah, exactly, yeah. So because you can't drill to the front of a deep freezer like you can like a refrigerator to make a kegerator per se. But that being said, you could buy kegerators that look like dorm refrigerators and actually has a tower on top. You get like a 2 or 4 tower taps, which are pretty neat. But they're pretty costly though. I think you're better off probably if you're handy, or if you like working with your hands. And I think it's a lot cheaper if you just do it. You can probably buy a defreezer from Craigslist for under $100. Maybe spend $20 and some wood and whatever, and then get it by the kit for the keg stuff, which that costs maybe $100 on up. Depends on what you want to do, but a couple $100, maybe $300 you invested, you can have yourself a nice Keyser or kegerator, which I think the dorm size ones are going to cost you, I think, over $600+ $700, something like that. The last time I checked. I mean, they're nicely built. I mean,
you can get those you can get those from people on Craigslist a lot too. I've actually seen a lot of because a lot of the breweries are kind of going in and out of business. So you see like I don't remember what the name brand is, but you see like the name brand that you see at a bar, stuff for sale, for like the keg, like they're basically like a fridge with a door, or two fridges next to each other with a door, and then you can just slide your kegs in there. I was looking at one of those because we're looking into finishing our basement, and I really want to do that. And I bought a freezer to try to do this. I was baiting him to try and explain it, but I bought all the stuff to do it, but then we're just need to finish the basement before I start doing it. And then I'll probably have a lighter beer for the summer on tap, and then maybe some sort of heavier beer for the winter. But then that's just going to be, that's Danger Town, depending on how heavy the beer is, and expensive. So I kind of want to get into brewing and stuff. So that's kind of where I think that this podcast is going to really help out in like getting my palate to like opening my palate and just kind of experimenting with the different types of beer that are out there to see like if I want to brew my own beer, what flavors do I like and what flavors do I not like? Because that's more or less the key is like figuring out what you don't like, and if you don't like something, try not to get it, I guess.
Well, I'd be kind of curious if you could articulate why you don't like said style. Like I always said I hated like IPAs, and I think IPAs a decade ago were very pungent. They were very pine sol and grapefruit forward, and I don't like that. The hazies that are out nowadays, I kind of like them. They're fruity, they're juicy. I think they're more on my palate, but I couldn't do those high 120 IBUs, which is IBU is international bitter units. IPA, so that's just too much for me. I'm not a fan of it. But I mean, I had you try an IPA when we were in Cincinnati last year, and you actually really, really liked it. You didn't think you would, but you were actually open-minded about at least trying it. So I think this podcast will definitely get you there, because eventually we're going to have to go down the IPA route. But I don't think we'll do the strong ones first. I think we'll do the flavorful ones, like the juicy ones, and kind of work our way back to the more pungent ones. And we'll try it. And if we like it, cool. If we don't, we'll just like, this is what we don't like about it.
Yeah. I think that IPA was something that was very overused to signify like a type of hop that was used in the process. And it like if you literally go to any place, I would say that half of their beer list is IPAs, just because like it's a buzzword that everybody wants, and I hate that. I think that kind of ruins like the chance that I'm going to try something like that one that you showed me. Like it was a milky IPA. Where I'm like, well, it got rid of all of the grapefruit flavor, and the grapefruit flavor is what I don't like about that. So yeah, it's I don't know. Well.
Yeah, I did see you posted a picture the other day. You have an extra stout or hard extra. I forgot what it was. I don't think I've ever had one by Guinness. What makes that one so unique? Did you remember when you picked it up?
I read the back of it, and one of them has like a little bit of fruity notes to it.
Okay.
And it's like a dark chocolate, or no, maybe just chocolate and some like dried fruit notes. So I was kind of excited when I kind of read the back of it. And the other one was just more bitter. But I think that they're not. I don't think that they're nitrogen.
No, ones aren't.
Yeah, so like I think that's kind of what I want to try and see if it's the nitrogen that I don't like, because for me, I'm very almost autistic in a way that it bothers me. And like my mom used to tell the story of me when I was a kid that like they put stickers on me, and then like the feeling of the sticker on my skin like made me like scream at like the doctor or something. So like I have a like my palate and like what I eat and stuff like that is very dependent on that. Like I don't like tapioca pudding because it's got like the chunks of something in, or like even bread pudding or rice pudding, like the stuff that's like it's like mushy with like chunks of stuff in it.
Right.
So for whatever reason, that's just my like weirdness that comes through. But there's a lot of that in a like it's a smoothness. It's like almost like a velvety kind of feel for anything that's been put on nitrogen. And Founders does that with Rubaeus is one of their major beers they do on nitrous. And I've heard people say that basically if the beer doesn't taste very good, put it on nitrous and then like it'll sell. Like people just want the nitrous. Yeah, it softens it up and it kind of changes the flavor. So I don't know if the nitrogen itself actually puts a different flavor into it too. So that's the kind of stuff that I think that it kind of pushes me away from. If something is on nitrous, it pushes me away from that, wanting that one. Like I said in like one of the other episodes, I think that I'm attracted to a very like hard, like it hurts to drink it, so I drink it slower kind of a thing. Otherwise, I just chug something like it's water.
So I find the one of the nitrous to be velvety, I guess is the best way to describe it. I like that softness.
Silky.
So silky, yeah, that's another good term to use as well. That being said, do you have an issue drinking creamy drinks? So like Kahlua and coffee, or I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my head. First ones that pop in my head are all dirty ones, names wise, like blowjob, but just something like that.
I don't, not so much.
Okay.
Like that, because it's a thick and it's consistent. I think it's because it's I'm not expecting something else. I guess I'm just not used to it, so I'm not expecting it to be
for that to be that way.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense too. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I think this one kind of threw you off with that. Not change subjects, but that Schwartz beer, because that had, like everyone said even yesterday at my homebrew club, they're like, wow, this has a very strong smoky upfront, and they all thought it was a stout. Like a really lean stout. Then I was like, no, it's a Schwartz beer. They're like, oh wow, yeah, I guess it is. Because the nose, you smell this one thing and then you drink it and it's like super clean, it's crisp. And you're like, wow, this doesn't make sense.
Right. And I think that kind of bothered my brain. Like my brain was like,
I can tell.
my brain's like, why is this taste so much different than it smells? And then the smell would change depending on, because I have a little growler that I have like a CO2 cartridge, and I can make it into a tap. So like we were keeping it pressurized, and I think that just doing that, the little tiny food grade like pellet gun looking containers might have a flavor to them, and that might, or a smell, I guess, or remove the smell. So like that kind of stuff could change the flavors of it or whatever. But
that's true. Yeah, it could. Very could have.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it's a very and that would be for me a very like sensory, I guess, overload. Like my nose is telling me one thing, but my mouth is telling me something different. So like,
same way. Like I smell everything before I even eat it. I've always been the way as a kid. Yeah. No, granted, speaking of certain food, no, there are some foods that are just kind of funky, but it tastes good. Cheese. I think cheese is a great example. There's some cheeses out there that just smell horrible, and people love it. I can't do it. Like gorgonzola cheese is one that pops in the head. That has such a strong, pungent smell. Like it doesn't taste good. I don't like it. But people don't like feta. They think feta has a very strong smell to it. I think it does, but I actually like the way it tastes. I think it tastes good, so I can do that one. I think that's a good example for myself. But for weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Flavors. I don't know about that. Like blue cheese, I can have. But when something gets too much blue cheese in it, like the chef was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make this blue burger," and then like they put blue cheese dressing and blue cheese on it, and you're like,
"Oh, it's too much."
Just tastes like it fell in the trash. I don't know.
Might have. There's a place in Knoxville that has a blue cheese burger that uses a jalapeno raspberry jam or something like that. That was like the grossest thing ever in my life, but like I already paid for it and I was like, I'm ready to eat the stupid thing. It was just too many flavors. That was definitely a sensory overload for sure. I would never get that one again.
So
oh man.
In the St. Patrick's Day tradition, what is your one Irish dish? If you had to get one Irish meal, what would it be?
If I had to get an Irish meal, I like corned beef and cabbage, but I hardly ever get it. So like that would be the one I would probably gravitate to. The wife does make an Irish Dublin coddle, which is like this stew that has Irish bangers in it and potatoes and bacon and a pint of Guinness goes into it. It is so delicious. And then I make some Irish soda bread, which I made tonight, by the way. But if you something for myself, it would have to be like corned beef and cabbage. If not, I would take what we're gonna have here soon. How about you? That's a good question.
Nice. I don't like cabbage. I don't like so I didn't think I liked corned beef for the longest time until I had it at a one of the places here. They have what they call which was what I had last night actually was the Celtic sticks. And they're basically like they take their corned beef and Swiss cheese and then a pickle, and then they wrap it in like an egg roll shell, like a wonton, and then they deep fry it, and it's the best thing I've ever had. And they put Thousand Island dressing. You can dip it in. I mean, that I think I went up there and that's what I got. We've turned that into a pizza, doing the same thing basically. Like we put the instead of regular pizza sauce, you use the Thousand Island dressing, and then you put a layer of the cheese on it, and then you sprinkle all the stuff on it and put pickles on the top and cook that. And that was probably one of the best pizzas that wasn't a pizza. I mean, it was a pizza, but it wasn't a pizza. When I want to be pizza, it needs to be pepperoni, and that's it, or a normal pepperoni pizza. But that was awesome. But then they also have like a burger that you can get that's basically the same thing. They just put the corned beef on top and Swiss cheese, and then do that, and that is amazing. So that I think that would be my meal. Everything else is like wet. I feel like so I have a lot of bucket list places, and Ireland is definitely one of the places I want to visit. Scotland, Ireland, and England. I think we're going to probably make a trip out of that. But I'm afraid because of the authentic food sounds kind of gross to me, and I will
blood sausage.
Yeah, I will try my best to kind of like eat it and do whatever, because otherwise I'm just going to starve to death. But I feel like it's going to be really tough. Like that's going to be a tough sell on me. Like we're going to France and Italy, but like French food and Italian food are like basically like, so it's bread and cheese in France. And I will survive on that for sure. And then you have like Italian food essentially in Italy. So like, that's going to be easy. So those two places I'm happy about, but, for food wise, but the other stuff I'm like, I want to try like all of the I want to go to like a local brewery in like Scotland or in Ireland, and like just like have the like maybe go for like to watch like a football game or a soccer match or something, and like just be there for like their lives, like how they live, and see what they're doing. I think that'd be cool.
Well, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Ireland has definitely been on my bucket list since as long as I can remember. But I want to go during hurling season. And if you've not seen hurling, it is like the oldest game, I think, to date. It's over 3,000 years old, I think. It's like the fastest game on grass, is what they say. It's like a combination of like baseball and lacrosse and rugby and everything. So all they wear is a helmet, and they have no pads. They have a bat, but it's curved and it's flat. And they have this ball, and they whack it, they hit it, they body check each other. They have a goal post, and they have a goalie, and there's the scoring system. You have to bounce the ball so many times on the hurley stick, and then you gotta. There's so many rules to it, but it's fascinating to watch. I've been watching probably for the last 5 years. Like I'll find like matches on YouTube, and I'll just watch them. Now I've kind of become like a Kilkenny fan, and I think it's funny because the beers we had in our last episode were from Kilkenny. So I was like, yeah, I think and Cork is another good one too. I've looked at a couple of tours. I think about $2,000 a person or so, and you kind of do this little route around like Ireland itself. You start like in, oh gosh, go.
Sorry, I was just trying to see if it would do it. It does.
Oh, see, it's up higher. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
What did, I guess.
But yeah, so you kind of do this route thing. You start from Dublin, you kind of go south, and you go west, and you go up back around, and you go back over to Dublin. And it's like a 7-day trip, and I think that'd be really, really fun. I think most meals are included, except for I think a few odds and ends. But I thought it was a pretty good price overall. I think some days are kind of self-guided. They kind of just let you loose, like, hey, we'll just be here. We'll meet up for dinner. That's what I want to do. I think Europe would be another fun trip as well. Definitely hit there sometime. Definitely, I want to do. Again, it's just food. I want to do a food tour of Italy. I want to go from south and go north. I want to get like the seafoods, and then I want the other like traditional pastas and stuff like that of the north. I definitely want to hit Belgium. Even though this is supposed to be, I'll say Patty's Day.
I know. Talk about it. I mean, for us though, like for Americans, like basically getting over there, like we can't do just one like country while we're over there. Like their countries are so close together. It's so for everybody that we're probably going to listen to this, that it's their countries are basically like it'd be like going to different states here. Like if you're to try and drive to or take a train to like Chicago from Florida or something, or from Tennessee, that's like going to Italy or something like that from like France, or not even France, but yeah, I don't really know. I can't claim to know. My wife is the explorer. I am the tag along. So I got lucky.
That's how you got lucky. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. See, you're opening horizons. So you could be a travel guy. You're gonna open horizons to beer, food.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping to. Well, I can't like bring anything home, but I hope to experience some stuff like firsthand, like getting a Guinness on tap from a brewery, and they probably don't like it. It's like they're Bud Light or something, so they're gonna be like, "Yeah, that's gross, dude. Don't drink that. Drink this one instead." But like when you see like the taps from like movies and TV shows and stuff, like all of their taps on the thing are the same kind of like stout tap or whatever that one is that has the whole handle that folds over. Like that's what all of their taps look like. So I don't really understand what the difference is.
So they even have like a sideways tap as well too. So it pulls, so it's flat like this and it goes this way.
Oh yeah.
And that's really big over in Europe and stuff like that. And that's how, and I'm not sure what it does special to anything except for it looks kind of cool. But those are the kind of places like you'll have a beer and we'll have a head like way up here just kind of bounce around. It's called like an ice cream head or whatever. It's kind of neat.
Yeah. Sounds gross.
Yeah, tomato.
I don't like head. So this is the first. I didn't mean to change the subject a little bit. Just let it go. Sorry. I think it tastes flat to me. The nitrogen makes it feel like it lost all of its fizz. I mean, I just poured it like an idiot, but I think that's one of the biggest things for me is nitrogen makes it feel like it lost its fizz, even though it still has some. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like drinking the keg the day after the party that you didn't like pressurize the party keg.
Man, I got a story about that too. So we'll talk about it some other time. So one thing I don't hardly ever get from a Guinness, and they claim a lot, I've noticed, is like caramel. I've never gotten caramel notes from Guinness. And I've had Guinness like on tap, off tap.
It's just coffee forward.
I get coffee. Sometimes I get like a dark chocolate once in a while. Especially if it's super cold, like a tap cold, where it's like 34 degrees or whatever it is. I definitely get like chocolate a little bit. I've never gotten caramel. I've always wanted to though. Well, I could be kind of curious what that would taste like, because it's a dry beer, so it'd be interesting to have like some kind of sweetness to it.
Well, that was the other one. It explicitly says caramel. It says caramel. I don't remember what it says, but it has caramel in one of the descriptions. I'll have to get that out and show you.
Okay, that works for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So speaking of like Ireland and stuff like that, so there is a Netflix show. I think it's called Irish Pubs. It's very fascinating. Some of them are kind of hard to understand. They're like out in the country and stuff like that, so they have their own little accents. It's really hard. But like everyone drinks Guinness. It seems like that's the drink. So like when you go to Ireland, like that's probably what you'll get. When I was younger, I wanted to do the Dublin crawl. Now that I'm almost pushing 50, I think I could have like 4 and I'd be crawling. So I don't need to do the drug. I can do the Dublin crawl at all. But I always thought that'd be interesting to
but if it's Guinness and they're 4.2% alcohol, you could have like 6 or 8 of them at least.
Yeah, probably. Just take my time myself. There you go.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. Is those other stouts had a higher ABV. Like I think one of them was like 7.2 or something. So
wow,
I'm probably gonna try that one after this one.
But, I wonder if it's the extra.
I don't know. I got 2 different ones. I could run and get them if you wanted me to, but they're...
Oh, cool. That's fine. Yeah, I just gotta keep talking about like different types of
All right, I'll be back.
beers that we had. So since he is gone, so some of the characteristics that we talked about for the Guinness, I guess I also forgot to bring up like roasted barley. So I guess it kind of helps with like making it just a little bit darker and drier. That's another characteristic. One thing that I wanted to do was make a dry Irish beer, but I didn't have the time to come up with like a really good recipe. Excuse me. But I've looked at a few, and it doesn't look super hard. I would think that next year that would be my goal for next St. Patty's Day. I would like to do like a couple gallons of like an Irish red, and do like, I'm not necessarily say a Guinness, but like just a dry Irish ale or dry Irish stout. Oh, I see you have your
yeah, so we have
is that
2
the extra.
No, it's
or an extra. That's what
right,
it was.
and then you have the extra.
Yeah, that one's good. I like the
extra stout. So this 4 and extra one, is generous hops, roasted barley, which is all the same. Full flavored taste drink. It's really hard to see. Dark chocolate, dried fruits, and caramel. Oh, there's a period. Yep. So that's what the difference is with that one. I don't see the ABV though. They showed it at 7.5. So there's that one, and this one is oh no. I was like 11.2, but that was the fluid ounces. This is 5.6 for the extra. So I'm excited to try those. But they don't say that they're nitrogen. So I'm also excited about that part.
I don't think they are, no. I'm pretty sure they're not.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to drink those tonight, though. At some point. I'm excited
for sure. No, yeah, you definitely have to try them out, yeah. I would like to know what your thoughts are. Because like I've never seen the foreign one, but I've had the extra stout, and that's one I gravitate to for bottled. Because like I think I kind of agree with what you said earlier about like the nitrogen one. It doesn't. There's not much
mouthfeel
carbonation there. Yeah, or mouthfeel. I guess. I mean, still has a little bit ahead.
I don't like that.
But yeah, I know you don't. Fucking teenagers, I tell you.
Yeah.
On that note, hope you all have a happy, safe St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Yeah. Drink responsibly, as they say.
Yes. Have a pint with your pal.
Yep.
Or pals.
Yeah. People have more than one friend.
So before we go, I like to say an Irish blessing. So may you be in heaven for half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. Good night, all.